Meet Parker Robbins, your not-so-average petty criminal turned magic-wielding kingpin. Think Peter Parker, but without any of that namby-pamby power and responsibility stuff. Or if your local bicycle thief suddenly became Doctor Strange. In a world where most street thugs have animal-themed gimmicks, Parker goes full-on Demon Slayer mode, steals a magical cloak and boots, and decides to stalk the dark underbelly of New York as the dreaded Hood. His origin story kicks off in The Hood #1, back in 2002, when he transforms from a street-level thief into the Hood after he stumbles upon a demon during a heist gone wrong and absolutely fills that jabroni with lead. It's like George Washington once said, with enough bullets we could kill the devil himself. Parker thenceforth becomes a villain with both magical powers and a serious ambition to level up in the Marvel Underworld. Powers and abilities. Cloak of Invisibility. This isn't your typical J.K. Rowling Deus Ex Machina. This one doesn't conveniently show up to solve every problem. The Hood actually has to focus to make it work, though being able to disappear whenever things get dicey does a lot to help. Levitation boots. These boots aren't just made for walking. Parker's magical kicks allow him to levitate and strut through the air like Michael Jordan after his dad loses another pricey bet. The boots create a mystical force that essentially allows Parker to defy gravity. He can hover, move around midair, and even fly short distances. But they're not exactly Iron Man level flight. Think of it more like floating around a couple of stories high. It's great for quick escapes or getting the high ground during a fight. Fire manipulation. As if turning invisible and floating around wasn't enough, Parker eventually strikes a deal with Dormammu. Yes, that Dormammu. And gets the serious power upgrade. Thanks to this connection, Parker gains the ability to manipulate demonic fire. He can summon and control flames that pack a serious punch, whether he's tossing fireballs or burning down whatever stands in his way. It's less light a candle for ambiance and more scorched earth policy. Truth vision. Parker appears to have the ability to see things that other people can't, like when the Skrulls invaded, and he could see who was an imposter. Firearms expertise. Despite all the fancy magical powers, Parker knows to stay strapped or get clapped and keeps it real with good old-fashioned guns. Whether he's facing off against superheroes or rival criminals, the Hood never leaves home without packing some heat. Magic and bullets, so why pick one when you can have both? Demonic possession. Oh, and did I mention that Dormammu occasionally takes over his body? Yeah, not creepy at all. When this happens, Parker gets a power boost, but also risks becoming a full-on rage monster. Trade-offs, am I right? The Hood's role in the Marvel Universe. Criminal empire. After getting his magical wardrobe upgrade, Parker goes all in on building a criminal empire. He rallies a bunch of other villains, creating his own little bad guy club, and starts taking over New York's underworld. Imagine Ocean's 11, but with more magic and a lot less George Clooney clashes with other superheroes. Naturally, Parker's rise to power doesn't go unnoticed by Marvel's A-listers. He regularly bumps heads with Spider-Man, Luke Cage, Iron Man, and especially Tigra. Let's just say Parker's antics get him invited to way more superhero beatdowns than he probably likes. Dark Reign. One of Parker's biggest gigs comes when Norman Osborn, yes, the Green Meanie himself, recruits him for his inner circle during Dark Reign. Parker becomes Osborn's right-hand man, enforcing his rule over the criminal world while taking care of any pesky heroes who get in the way. Kind of like a supervillain HR department, only a little nicer. Secret Invasion's Fallout. After the Secret Invasion storyline, where Skrulls try to invade Earth, Parker uses the chaos to expand his empire. Because when aliens invade, some people panic and others, like Parker, seize the moment and steal more turf. Opportunism at its finest. Notable storylines. The Hood, 2002. Parker's origin story is told in his first limited series, where we see him go from struggling crook to magic-wielding villain. It's like watching someone win a lottery, but instead of cash, they get invisibility and flight. New Avengers. The Hood becomes a recurring thorn in the side of the New Avengers, leading a whole bunch of supervillains against the team. If there's a big Marvel event, Secret Invasion, Siege, chances are Parker's got his fingers in the pie, trying to come out on top. Infinity Stones. At one point, Parker Robbins actually gets his hand on one of the Infinity Stones, the Reality Stone no less. Because, you know, regular old crime just wasn't ambitious enough for him. He doesn't hold on to it for long. Spoiler alert, reality warping is harder than it looks. But it's one of his biggest power plays. Psychological profile and motivation. At the heart of it, Parker Robbins is a guy trying to claw his way out of a tough life. He starts off just wanting to help his sick mom, but once he gets a taste of power, it's all about leveling up. He's not your average villain. He's got a mix of desperation and ambition that makes him both dangerous and, honestly, a little relatable. Family man, sort of. Despite his villainous tendencies, Parker cares deeply about his family, especially his wife and daughter. His whole rise to power is driven by a desire to provide for them, but his criminal lifestyle constantly puts him at risk. It's a classic tale of I did it all for the family, but with more fireballs and gunfights. Antihero or villain? Parker's more than just a bad guy. He's kind of complicated. Sure, he makes deals with demons and runs a crime syndicate, but he's also trying to balance that with his family life. In another universe, maybe he could have been a hero, but in this one, he's the Hood, and he's not looking back. And that's a wrap on today's Unmasked, where we explore the rise of Parker Robbins, a.k.a. the Hood, a villain who proves that sometimes crime does pay, if you've got magic boots and a demon on your side. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to Marvel Chronicles for more Unmasked episodes. We've got plenty more secrets to reveal about your favorite Marvel characters. Got a character you'd love to see unmasked? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and who knows, your pick might just be our next deep dive. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss it.